Well, if you don't live in the deep south and you're somewhere in the central portion of the United States, even though I'm on the East Coast, um, pollen is terrible. And we had cleaned the deck off. It looked so beautiful. And guess what? We woke up to another layer of pollen. So I'm going to get everything swept. My plan today is to split a fern and work on some other pots. So if you're interested in what I'm going to do, stay tuned. Well, I am an absolute mess. As you can see, I am waiting. I've been working on my porch all morning and planting flowers and getting some things done. And I'm catching a breath here at Home Depot waiting for a curbside pickup. Now, hold on. Well, I had great plans for this birthday. I was going to spend the day putting my flowers together and sitting on the deck and just enjoying the breeze. And guess what? It is cold today and not a good deck day. So here I am. I'm still outside. All right, well, at least I was. And trying to get things done. So maybe tomorrow I'll get to sit on the deck. But it will definitely will not be today. So I'll see you when I get home.
To let you know that after 45 minutes of sitting in my car and waiting patiently for my dirt to be delivered to my truck, I had to actually go into the store and fuss at the ladies because I had been told they were coming and they were coming and they were busy. And guess what? When I got in there, there was no one standing in line, and they're all looking at each other wondering why my belongings had not been delivered. Well, I was not a happy camper, but I won't digress, so let's go home.
Good morning. I've got my Carmen Miranda going without the fruit. And today we're going to be putting together our house seasoning. So let's get that ready. Okay, I've laid down some paper towel just in case we have a little spillage. And if the sound of the coffee maker bothers you, I'm so sorry. But we are going to put together our house seasoning today because I'm running low and I don't want to wait until it's actually out. So I'm going to get my funnel because that's going to make it a little easier. So there's our funnel and it's ready to go. Now I've also placed the recipe down in the description box so that you'll have it. So let's start with the most basic items. First of all, as always, and I'm using my tablespoon, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of salt. 2 tablespoons of salt. Now, you may adjust yours as you see fit. This works for us. Oops, that's paprika. I need pepper. And this is a fairly new container of pepper. So I'm going to open that. And I like the fine ground black pepper in my house seasoning. Now, I may use the larger grind when I'm just shaking. But for this, I like the fine ground. So there's 1 and 2. And you know you can always add and subtract as you need to for your family. So that's 2 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of pepper. Now, those are the basics. Then let's get into the specialties. I like a couple of tablespoons, or at least a tablespoon. Whoops, that's not going to go in there. Let's see if I can get this whole thing off. I don't know if he's going to go off or not. He's not cooperating, so I'm going to have to pour him in. Okay, see, that's why I had the paper towel. All right, we need a tablespoon of paprika. And the thing about just having the tablespoon is that you can always add more should you need it for your particular recipe if you're doing something special. So I've got 1 tablespoon of paprika. We need onion powder. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of onion powder. One tablespoon of garlic powder, using powders, not salts. And this, like the other one, we're going to have to pour it in. 1 tablespoon. Now, my cayenne this morning was a little tricky because I had flakes but did not have the ground. So what I do when that happens is that I grind my own. So I've used my little Ninja blender, and I'm going to put in a tablespoon. You can certainly decrease yours if you want to, but this works for us. And then if I need more, depending on the recipe, I can always add. Okay, we're good to go there. There we go. Now, I'm going to put the top on this and we're going to give it a shake. A shake, a shake, a shake. All right, and you can, before I even shake, you can see the different layers. Now, house seasoning, check, and it is done. Now, when you see that it's well mixed, that's when you stop shaking. Now, if you have a little one around, they love shaking the bottle, being able to get it nice and mixed. There we go. We got it ready, so we're going to have it right there because we're going to be using our house seasoning tonight for dinner. So I'm going to get everything put away, and we're going to be ready to start working on some things for dinner. So I'll be back.
Well, guys, I'm really thrilled. I finally got it cleaned up. Now there may be a few little added touches that I'll put on it, but you know what? The flowers are done. Got flowers in baskets, flowers in pots. I got my grandson's Tonka truck. He just turned 13. Needless to say, I'll be keeping that for a while. More plants. Our flag is hanging. So cute, the little yellow bird. I don't know what kind of bird he is, but he's cute. I have some of the flowers on the deck. I still have a few yet to get, but I have a great start. I've got tomato plants in. I have all the herbs in. I've been splitting and sharing plants with my daughter and the neighbors, and just having a great time out here. right here on the deck. And guess where I'm going to spend the rest of this morning? Right here on the deck, doing the things and planning for things that I want to do. I'm making this my quick and easy dinner night because last night we ate out. We did pick up for dinner, and so today, because I had a chance to really relax and enjoy the day, I thought, well, let's do something quick. So we are going to put together meatball subs. It's the fastest, easiest dinner that you can have, and let me tell you, it is so filling. So you're really going to enjoy it, and you're going to want to make enough so that you can have some left over. So stay tuned. Well, let's get down to business. First of all, we have I've placed a slice of bread, one slice, and I'm putting in probably about a half cup of milk, and I'm just going to give that a few minutes because I want it to soak up that milk. I'm going to add a little bit of house seasoning, the house seasoning that we just put together, and I'm going to sprinkle about we'll say, well, I thought I was going to be able to get that spoon down in there, but that didn't work, so I'm having to do a little shake. So it's not going to be quite as accurate, but we're going to say about a quarter of a teaspoon to a half of a teaspoon. And we're going to put that in. And the reason we're just putting a little bit in is that we're seasoning the bread and the milk. And later on, we'll add more seasoning. So that's not going to be a major ordeal. Now, we're going to get an egg. We're going to have some Worcestershire sauce, mustard. All of those things are going to go into this meatball, and it's going to be absolutely delicious.
Now, of course, you can't have meatballs without the ground beef to go along with it. So we are going to, I'm going to bring out that ground beef and get it ready while that bread is soaking and just kind of putting everything out. You'll see I'm bringing out my leftover jar of marinara, but it is not nearly enough for what we want. So you'll see that the bread has soaked up most of that milk. So now it's time to put everything together. So I'm just taking a fork and mashing that bread up so that it will be nice and mushy and we can blend it in with the ground beef. So I'm taking my time because I do want this very, very small. I don't want you to even know that the bread is in the meatballs. So that's what we're doing. And of course, as we're doing that, you'll see some of the milk actually kind of squeeze out, but that's okay. That's going to be fine. So we're going to put in a squish of mustard. Now, mustard just adds a little background to your meatball. Just enough, just a tiny bit. You'll see that's barely a teaspoon. I'm also going to add one egg, and that egg is going to act as a binder. And I need to get my hands rinsed off while I'm over and throwing away the eggshell. And so we're going to get all of that whipped up together and just take our time. Now the good thing is that we don't have to put a lot of additional seasonings in because our house seasoning has a great mixture. Now I'm getting that Worcestershire sauce because anytime you have ground beef, you need a few dashes of Worcestershire sauce to be a part of, if it's a sauce, if it's a gravy, no matter what it is, if it's hamburgers, you want a little Worcestershire sauce in there. So that's what I've done. I've gotten all that together. So I'm just mixing that up and getting it ready. So we're going to take our hamburger, and this is hamburger that I bought a couple of weeks ago. I took half, used it, and this half we're going to make into our meatballs. So I had to, it took a day or so in the refrigerator to thaw, but it's ready to go. So we're going to get it in there. And I'm actually going to put it in a separate bowl and then add the liquids to it because I want to be able to control how much liquid goes in. I don't want them to be too soupy because then that's a problem. So I'm just sticking all of that back into the Ziploc bag and I'll zip that, throw it into the trash. And anything else I might have, I'll throw in that bag. And so when I have it in the house and in the trash, I will not worry about smells coming from that trash can. So let me wash my hands again because I'm going to actually put my hands in the hamburger and the egg and mustard bread mixture. So that's the easiest way and that's the best way. So I'm just kind of breaking that up, getting it all broke up. I want everything, I want those meatballs to be tender. And I'm going to start to put that in. And you'll see I'm working a little bit in. I want to see what that's going to do, how much that's going to soak up. You just kind of mush it up. You'll see, you'll be able to see what it looks like and if it needs more. And the feel of it in your hand really makes a difference. You could certainly use a wooden spoon and do all of this, but it will not be the same. So let's get all of that mushed up and it's going to be ready for putting into meatballs. So let's do that. So there we go. Now we need to clean my hands, got to wash, 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 because after all, we're in that season and anytime you're handling meats, you must keep your hands absolutely clean. Now I'm going to get the pan that we're going to use to cook these meatballs. I've got the oven set and I don't want the meatballs too large. And I was actually looking for a 4th cup measure, but couldn't find it quick. So I forgot to put the Worcestershire in there. So while I was looking for the measuring cup, I'm putting in 3 caps of Worcestershire. And we'll do a little more mushing. All right, so, sometimes we do that. That happens. So I've got to do it again. There we go. That's good to go. Going to be nice. They're going to be really good and nice and tender. So I'm getting something to, there's my pan. I can throw the trash away because I don't have anything else to go into that plastic bag. And this pan is not hot at this point, but I'm not going to put any oil or any of that, I don't think, in the bottom of it because, hamburger's pretty fat. And most of the time, because I do not get extra lean, I usually kind of get it midway, 80%. And that allows me to have a little bit of fat already in it. So let's see if we can put these meatballs together. I'm using this this little ladle that I got at the Chinese store, and it's just perfect. It makes a perfect size meatball, so that's what I'm doing. I could have used my ice cream dipper, and I guess that would have been just as well, but I'm telling you, it comes out of here better and easier. And the cool thing is that when you're making your own meatballs, they do not have to be weighed unless you just want to, if you're that particular. Now, some people aren't that particular, and they have to have it all weighed. And so that each one is absolutely perfect. Well, this is homemade. So I want it to look homemade. So each little ball is going to have its own little personality. So I'm making up enough. My plan is if we had actual sub rolls and we don't, and I'm not going to the store just for that, but I do have buns. They're hot dog buns that are the Hawaiian hot dog buns. They are delicious. We love those buns. And so we're just going to eat those up. I don't want them to go bad. I want to make sure that what I'm buying, I'm trying to be frugal. So what I'm purchasing for the month, I'm using. And so I am just going to use those buns. And I have a feeling that we're only going to get two meatballs onto each bun. I don't think we're going to be able to squeeze three, but I think they're going to be pretty filling. So I'm kind of playing around because I want to get one more out of it. And you'll see this one is just a little small, but that's okay. You know, he's going to be good. Somebody's going to like a small one, probably me. One regular and one small one. So here we go. We got them all together. Everybody's happy. And I'm just kind of scooting things around. Now, I am actually going to cook these in the oven. You could certainly put them in a skillet and fry them if you wanted to before you put them into the marinara sauce. I did not want to do that. And so I am putting them in the oven so I can walk away and let them cook, let them get, I'm not going to brown them. I just want them to be hot and set and almost done. And then, as you can see, I have my marinara sauce ready. I'm working on that. I've got some tomato, garlic combination that's in there, and I've added that extra marinara that I had in the jar. All of that's going to go in there, and you'll see off to the side that I have the green peppers and onions, and I'll add those in at the end because we like our green peppers and onions with a little texture. Now, yes, the hot sauce, red hot. It's not going to make the sauce hot, but it's going to give it a good flavor. So you notice, for me, come on guys, for me, that was just a little tiny smidget of hot sauce. And the reason for only having a little tiny smidget is because I don't want this real spicy, but I do want it flavorful. So that's the reason why I just put a little smidget in there. I'm going to let that cook down. And when the meatballs are ready, I'll show you. Here you go. They're ready to go. And you see, I did not brown them. I am just going to sit them into the sauce and let them finish cooking. The sauce is bubbling and it's ready. Whoop, he jumped in, didn't he? So I don't want to make a mess. You notice I've got two pans. I'm going to have everything cleaned up because I want a fast cleanup when it's all over. So we are just sitting those meatballs in, and then I'll ladle the sauce over them. And the good thing is that they're not going to fall apart. They're just going to be just right. That hamburger is just going to work. So there we go. We got everybody in the pool. So I'm going to take that pot away and keep this sizzling and bubbling. And so let me get everything back over to the sink so we can get things cleaned up. That pan is hot, so I did not want to walk into that pan because I'm pretty good at getting burned, and that's not what I want to do today. So we're going to make sure that we have a nice bubbly sauce, marinara sauce, that is going to cover these meatballs. So bubble away, guys. What are you having tonight for dinner? I tell you what, I have made it through. I made it through March with a main grocery haul, and pretty much I'm just about to get through April with a good plan, not having to go to the grocery store all the time because I'm notorious. I will go to that grocery store every day. Not because I really have to, but I'll think of something that, let me add this to my menu plan. And I will hop out and go to the grocery store because the grocery store is only about 3 minutes away from my house. And so they know me. They know when I whip through there, they know me almost by name. And so, because I come in there so often, and because this is our neighborhood Food Lion, and I have been going in and out of the store since they opened. I know the manager, I know the people who work in there, and many of the students that I've taught have had jobs in there. So when I go in there, it's like family. I get hugs and kisses and the works. And so this COVID situation has been very hard because I can go in and we can wave, but there's no hugs and kisses, and we're not getting too close to each other. Now, so I'm breaking up the onions, and these are really good onions. They were very tasty, a little sweet, and so I'm just laying all this on top because, like I said, I want them to be a little softened, and they're going to have flavor because I will eventually push them down into the sauce, but I don't want them mushy. And I want some integrity to those vegetables. So I'll bring you back in just a minute. There we go. We've got, everything's bubbling. Oh my goodness. It is going to be great. We're going to fix that plate, get those buns on it, and get those meatballs on those delicious Hawaiian buns. So let's get to it, guys. Let's do it. Yes, I'm using paper plates tonight. I told you I had great plans. This is birthday. We are celebrating. I am celebrating anyway. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm celebrating. It's just hubby and we are taking it easy. We're not doing a lot of dishwashing or any of that. We're enjoying the moment. So here's our first bun. And so now we're going to get those meatballs on that bun. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be so good. Trying to find the right spoon, but geez. Okay, we're ready to go. Yes, this is a slotted spoon, so I can get in there and get the meatball. So there we go. Go. Meatball one. And you can see that meatball just took up almost that whole bun. And meatball two. And if you notice, look at that green pepper. He's got a lot of integrity. He's hot. Everything's hot. But let me go get another spoon. Okay, there's my little spoon. There's a spoon. So I can just lay on that sauce. That's for me, baby. So let's get to the second one. Now this is for the big guy. So I'm going to look at these meatballs to see if I can squeeze 3 on there, but I don't think so. I think we're just going to have to put the 2 just like I had. So let's see. Here's 1. I guess it depends on which one we get. I think that might be a smaller one. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh no, we're going to end up with just 2. Whoop, took up all of that bun. So let's get some onions. Let's get some green peppers because he likes all of that. So they're slathered with sauce. I had to sit it down because I want more onions and green peppers, and I just want to kind of fish those out. I'm going to add a few more even to mine, and make sure we have lots of veggies on top of our meatballs. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh yeah, baby. I like that. So let's get some more. Get those onions on there. All righty. Now I'm going to give you a close-up of what this looks like. I am so happy. And I certainly hope you have a great dinner tonight. You know what I thought of? I thought of when I go to my little restaurants, Italian restaurants, you have to put on some Parmesan cheese. Now, I love Parmesan cheese, but the big guy is not so happy with it. So he got a little teeny tiny sprinkle, and I put on some Parmesan cheese. Now, had I had mozzarella, I would have added more and then run it under the broiler, but that didn't work tonight. So enjoy dinner and have a blessed time with your family. See you soon.